you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. Just before I take you to the politics of Kano, that those now are going to be having sleepless nights because when you talk about the Kwankwansia movement, Kwankwanso as a political personality, the implication of what he's done today, dumping his own party and NPP, and now pitching his tent with the ADC means a lot, and that is going to cause a lot of stir. And you see the likes of the former Kano State APC governorship candidate Gauna, who is resigning his appointment, and we understand that he's probably headed out of the APC. But all of this gets our attention. Before we get into that, there's a sad scenario playing out in Plateau State, which I'd like us to pay attention to. And so the governor today, Caleb Mufwang, has assured residents that those behind the deadly Angwan Rukuba attack will be brought to justice. He's vowing not to allow Jos to lose its long-standing reputation as a city of peace. The assurance comes amid heightened tension in Jos North local government area, where a 48-hour curfew has now been imposed, and University of Jos has shut down, and as authorities move to contain the fallout from the violence. The university has also said that they've postponed examinations until a later time. But let me allow you to listen to the Governor Caleb Mufwang, when he went on the spot assessment of the situation after that deadly Plateau Palm Sunday attack.
I can assure you we will continue to do our best to make sure that the city of Jos does not lose its testimony of a place of peace. This is what the enemy wanted. They wanted to disrupt the peace of the land, and we will not allow them. We will follow this very diligently, make sure that they bring order.
Deadly Sunday attack is bringing back memories of dastardly attacks in the Plateau, on the Plateau, and how these has turned once recognized or identified state or city of Jos, the state of Plateau, a peaceful and tourist destination. It has turned it into a distress and a trouble spot. Once a very peaceful state has now become a state that is seeing a lot of violence and deaths. Let's speak with a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Dachung Bagos, who is live for us from Jos, Plateau State. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you, Sheun. And on a sad note, even in Nigeria.
How do we describe this very one? We've seen a lot of attacks on the Plateau, but this very one, what are you hearing? What do you know? What would be the cause of these on Sunday?
I can tell you that what happened yesterday was a planned attack that government have been proactive to apprehend those that said that that Plateau will not have peace after the Ramadan. And I can tell you, some of the boys are now in custody. Some of the boys are in custody. We were surprised that the same threat they gave took place again yesterday. And so what went wrong at what particular point in time after the governor was proactive in giving directives that the people that issued out those threats to be arrested, they were arrested. And that is the same question, that what were the intelligence that were drawn from those people that were arrested after giving the threat that after Ramadan there will be attack on the Plateau. And so that's a question that all of us on the Plateau need to know, that what are those intelligence that we have people that were arrested in those threats, because we have enjoyed peace on the Plateau, and we have been able to identify taking place on the Plateau has nothing to do with mass clash. Well, it has been genocide, trying to take away land of people. But here you find an attack that happened in a cosmopolitan environment, people enjoying and unwinding their Sunday, and people going about doing their own businesses. People now came in motorbikes, shooting sporadically, speaking the language of Fulfulde, and identifying routes that they will follow. They have already mapped out where they will follow. These are people that came, and at the same time, they had backup when youths want to follow, to trace where they were. They were stopped by the military from testimonies. So a lot of questions that is being on ground that look, what were those information that security agencies were able to derive? Because I can tell you the state governor and state government were proactive to act on those that gave out those threats. But our worry was that what were those intelligence that were gotten from those people? So because the level the people are in now is that there is a very big gap of mistrust on security agencies, and at the same time, lack of justice to people that have been killed over the. You and I, Sharon, were discussed this time that look, justice, justice, justice. Now another attack because people have not yet taking law into their. I can tell you what the governor and a lot of leaders on the Plateau were able to do to calm down nerves of thousands of youths that you have seen on the TV there. If not, Plateau could have been a different story today.
Honorable, just to let our
for listening.
Yeah, just to let our viewers know, Agwen Rukuba that we're talking about here, which is within the Jos North local government area, is within it's about 10 to 20 kilometers, 5 to 10 kilometers from the center, the Jos City, which is the capital of Plateau State, which means that we're talking about the metropolis. We're talking about the heart of Jos City. It means that there's a lot that this means, especially, it's been a long time we've seen any kind of attack in Jos City. And if you look at the nature of the attack, it's fitting into about 3 categories from our own understanding and historically speaking about the attacks we have seen on the Plateau. It fits into a farmer-headed conflict. It fits into ethno-religious tension. It fits into an armed criminal gangs attacking the popularly called bandit. But what can you tell us? They preempted this. It was not a premonition. They said they were coming. Who are these people? What are their names? Are they from Plateau? Are they aliens? Who exactly are they?
Yeah, first of all, Sheun, if not for the proactiveness of government, because we have been able to identify that there is no farmers' headers clash on the Plateau, if not proactiveness of traditional rulers and leaders on the Plateau, I can tell you that narrative of clash that they have been clamoring could have been what is happening now on the Plateau, because they provoked that attack yesterday so that Christians will go and start attacking Muslims, and you will now say that there is clash within the city of Plateau State. But because of the leaders, traditional leaders, and the governor, and so on and so forth, we have been able to calm down the youth to see that, look, we must trace the perpetrators of who carried out this. And secondly, to the question of who did this, eyewitnesses, people that heard, the people that came in bikes, Shehun, in motorbikes, moving, this commando film that will come with guns in their hands, shooting people and moving. They were shooting and speaking fulfulde, and outside directing that we should follow here, we should follow, and they shoot on target as if they already know who they want to shoot on. These were trained militias. These are trained people that they came on an assignment and they drove out. They map out how they came in and map out how they were able to drive out. And this is an attack that has been planned, if not because of how calm the youths have been, and we are still calming the youths. I can tell you, Plateau could have been having that clash narrative. But we have been able to identify what has happened on the Plateau and what is happening on the Plateau is pure attack, is pure genocide. They are trying to provoke the Plateau. We are not peaceful. The Plateau is not about peace and patriotism. But I can tell you, we are waiting and giving the security agencies that, look, those people that have been arrested, we want to get the intelligence of these people. And that is where we are saying who is behind it. Because already time has come that, look, we will no longer want people be arrested and you come and tell us that they have been transferred to Abuja or they have been transferred to another place. No. The person that has been arrested on the Plateau, we want to follow to the courts. That what is happening in the court, all of us want to be in the court to hear the terms of justice and how that intelligence that have been driven from. Let him name the sponsors. Let him bring out the people that care, because already there were threats and they did not hide it. It was he made a video of himself saying those threats, and by so doing, we want to follow this case to the latter, and that's why the youth are calm, because now we can prove to them that, look, there is a step that has been taken by government. But now the justice system, we want the justice system, we want the security agencies to build that trust by ensuring that the sponsors are being named, and at the same time, we want to see that they have been identified, those people that came on the bikes.
All right.
There is route. Can't we talk about
Hold on. Let me put this question in. You have said eyewitnesses have said they were speaking Fufude. Fufude is a language that is linked to Fulani ethnic group in parts of West Africa and Nigeria. And it means one thing, that there could be Fulani people or other ethnic group who speak Fufude. In that light, and the description of the attack was to the extent that they were on motorbikes and they entered into that community. They were shooting sporadically, indiscriminately, and gunning down innocent residents of that Agwan Rukuba. And when they did that, they went and took off, and they left about 30 people, we understand, are now dead, and several others injured. But in the real sense, the government says it doesn't want a reprisal. But today, despite the curfew, we've seen protests in the city of Jos. But the big question right here is that how do you differentiate other attacks we've seen in different parts of Plateau, on the Plateau, and this one that has happened right in the heart of Jos? What difference is it? Is it not the same set of people, or they are different in terms of the tonality, in terms of the nature and the pattern of this attack?
Shaun is clearly ignorance of the justice system. That, look, nobody has been brought to book over the years that all the killings taking place on the Plateau and other places. Nobody is in jail today as a result of the killings on the Plateau. I stand to be corrected, because I know the issues. Nobody is in jail today, and that is why you can still have these things going on. It being we have that, look, these people we can identify. We have eyewitnesses have identified the language. Eyewitnesses have identified that these people came on bikes. Eyewitnesses have identified that this was the route that these people have taken. But 24 hours after this attack, there is no any statement from the hierarchy of the security agencies that, look, we have followed the route. We have traced the motorbikes tires. We can now see where they are. We are chasing them. We are making arrangements. We have condoned the area. We are now searching the hills. We are no any operational statement from security agencies that these are the steps we are taking to be able to arrest these people. None of this. We don't want political statement. We don't want the usual PPRO statement. We want operational statement. What are those operational statements that the security agencies are doing? Joining forces with government, because government can give them the logistics to be able to execute this. But what are those operational steps that the security agencies, from their intel, that now they have been able to form those hills, to be able to trace, because the route that they have taken is supposed to be marked today, as of today, for forensic analysis. They are supposed to be marked today that, look, this is this, where are the shells of those bullets? Those shells of the bullets are supposed to have been traced. So it is so porous that these people come in, go out, nothing is being done. And that is why the lack of trust on security agencies, and that is why we are today clamoring for state police. And because of that state police, I can tell you, our people can take care of their own environment. And that is why, again, we are now calling on the National Assembly that if we can pass the Electoral Act within a period of time, if we can change the national anthem within 48 hours, why can't we sign the Electoral Act into law by now to give state governors the ability to establish security apparatus with their funding, with their IGR, to be able to get weapons and ammunition, to be able to arm their state police, to condone this area. With the number of youths you saw, shown in Angwaru Guba, I can tell you a lot of them will volunteer to be in the state police. That is their locality. And once we can be able to police our environment, nobody can enter that environment and go out scot-free. There is a police station just adjacent where this happened. But how many rifles do that police station have that will be able to manage what has happened? So the justice system, and at the same time, trust in the social contract that government and the people have signed, people are losing confidence on daily basis in terms of the security apparatus. Because we at a point we've celebrated the administration that we are having relative peace, but suddenly we are having this attack, and provocated attack that could have led to clash. So what we want now, Sheun, is that it's not about the quick fix. It's not about the statement of it will be brought to book. It's about, like, what are those legislation that will be able to address these issues once and for all. And all the governors, all the states, even the president has identified that, look, state police is one of the cardinal points to be able to address this. So give us state police. I believe that if we can do first, second reading, and third reading, and even pass it for amendment for the president to sign, let's see the National Assembly that I so believe in to be able to do this within 2 days, and let the president sign this on the third day. Then we will know that the federal government and the president that we believe in is taking security issues very, very important. But for now, for our people to be killed on a daily basis and perpetrators will be brought to book, I don't know how long we are going to hold these youths that you are seeing on the telly for them to be patient without justice.
Well, in the real sense of it, the governor declared curfew. There are those who will say, to what extent is this curfew? To prevent reprisal, or perhaps also to say, well, let's chase after those who have done these heinous crime. I mean, those who are asking, we see many of these curfew. To what extent, I mean, to what end, what will this curfew, what will it do for those who have been killed and those who are injured?
Yeah, sincerely, the curfew is not just because the government wants to put in curfew, but the government has always put in curfew so that we will not give them the opportunity to give us the name of clash. The curfew is to be able to identify. The curfew is to be able to keep our people more safe. The curfew is to be able to still plead and talk to our people from anger so that nothing will happen. In as much as a lot of our people are not happy with the curfew, but I can tell you, we still plead with them that the curfew is so that the enemy that wants us to be boiling on the plateau, the curfew is to be able to control the situation, so that at the same time to give the security agencies the opportunity to do what they need to do. And that's why we say we are waiting for the security
Honorable,
to see what they are doing.
Before I allow you, Honorable, you established the fact that most of what the killings and the violence on the plateau are genocide in nature. That is one of the inferences you've made. To what end? Who are those that want to kill the people on the plateau? Who are those after your land? Who are those after your lives? Who are those wanting to wipe away the people on the plateau? To what end? Or is this just a narrative that suits whatever the understanding you have about this attack? What is the evidence to show that this is real genocide? Religious genocide, ethnic genocide, ideological genocide? What kind of genocide are you talking about here?
Shaun, what has happened on the plateau many years that now we have identified that is genocide. The genocide is not about, I can tell you, we don't have religious crisis on the plateau, but they're using the killings to be able to give us that coronation. We have been able to identify that 80% of the genocide on the plateau is economical, about our land, about the rich mineral resources, about the climate, about how agrarian we are, about the soil that you can, there is nothing that you cannot farm on the plateau that it will not grow, even apples, even flowers, whatsoever, just name it. The only thing that you cannot farm on the plateau and that will not germinate is wickedness. And that is that wickedness that the administration of His Excellency Caleb Mutfwang is trying to stop. And I can tell you, we have identified that 80% is economic genocide about our land, about our mineral resources.
But Honorable Dachung, for someone who has also, from the days of Governor Jang, monitored incidents on the plateau, on a final note, you look at it and you say, just for a moment, there are those who will say, a lot of the times that some of the Fulani or the herders who are being attacked, nobody hears there because these guys don't have access to the media. But when they now come back for reprisal, or when they come back to where they have been injured or attacked or killed, that is when you hear the story. Have you ever been able to identify this kind of pattern also that has happened? That once these guys were attacked, they come back in full force, and sometimes they kill 3 of the plateau people, or 3 of them, and they come back to 300 or 30 people in that community.
Yeah, Shaun, you don't, no matter whether it's a Muslim, whether it's a Christian, whether it's a Fulani man, whether, you don't have the right to take the life of any individual, whatsoever tribe, whatsoever religion that person is. And why that narration has been, and that narrative has been going there, is the failure of the security apparatus to be able to apprehend whosoever kill any Fulani, whosoever kill any Christian, whosoever kill any Kanuri man, whosoever kill any tribe or any religion. Had it been the justice system has been up and doing, that whosoever kill any life goes to jail, you'll be able to, everybody will believe in the justice system and doing that. So whatsoever that might have happened, we don't support and we condemn the killing of any life at any point in time. But at the same time, it's not a right that because of a cow, you go and kill 30 lives. Because of a cow, you go and kill 20. No. The justice system needs to come into place, that whosoever is cow killed or apprehended, the justice system should be able to address that. Whosoever his farmland has been able to graze, the justice system is supposed to handle that. Who killed anybody, the justice system is supposed to. There is a foundational solution to these issues. When you don't have foundational solution to these issues, you will just be giving narratives to make and to suit their administration. So that has been the problem. So killing of any life at any point because because someone did anything to you is absolutely
Thank you so
wrong.
much. Honorable Dachung Bagos speaking to us from Jos Plateau State over the Palm Sunday attack in the city of Jos. Our heart goes out to those who have lost loved ones and those who have lost their lives in that dastardly attack. Thank you so much indeed for your time.